The goal of girlfriend therapy is really to, empower and to educate and to encourage. And if I had to say if there was a process of that, I would say that encourage first, educate second, and then empower. So sometimes when I encounter a woman, she may be just going through whatever situation that she's going through, and the only thing that she can hear is encouragement. And so I believe that the encouragement piece is first, that you encourage someone. And I always say this quote that you encourage until you can influence. And I think that, once you can encourage someone and get them in the place where they're standing on their foot and they have their balance and they're kind of like, okay, I think I can, I think I can, then you begin to educate them. You begin to remind them that, hey, you don't have to do this alone. And you begin to pour into them what they need to help build them up. And that's the educating piece. And then obviously, once they understand and they can see themselves clearly and they know who they are, not just in their own strength, but who they are in Christ, then they are empowered. They're empowered to do whatever it is that God has designed them to do. And I always say, in I think our mission statement or purpose statement is something to the effect, it's educating, encouraging, educating, and empowering women to be all that God has designed them to be without apology and without compromise. And as we know, as women, we often apologize for being amazing. We often apologize for being great. We often hide behind the shadows of others and compromise who we are and compromise the strength of who we are, as just to be accepted and just to be a part of the crowd. We give up so much just to blend in. And I just think that that's not what God designed us to do. He designed us to stand out in the way that we are to stand out. And it's important that we do stand out so that the world can see that there is something different about us. And sometimes that's tough because sometimes it's easier to go with the flow and go with the crowd and, to fit somewhere in the middle. But the reality is that we're designed to be different. We're designed to stand out. And that difference it doesn't mean that, there's going to be a big platform or a big stage. It just means that where you are and where you exist is where you're supposed to be. And the difference of that is the beauty. The difference of that is the power. And so, to stand in who we are, completely, fully, authentically, with boldness and with conviction is really the goal. It really is the goal and the purpose of girlfriend therapy is to help build women. And not just for the sake of being a strong woman, but for the sake of carrying that which God has called you to carry. And if what God has called you to carry is family, then you carry that with authority. You carry it with dignity. You carry it with power and conviction. Whatever it is, if God has called you to carry ministry, then you carry that, with the same power, conviction, authority that God has in you. If you're called to carry business, whatever it is, being your bold and full self in that space and not apologizing for it and not compromising yourself so that others can embrace you. So that really is, what the goal of Girlfriend Therapy ministry is to really educate or encourage, educate, and empower women to be all that God has designed them to be without apology and without compromise.